Hey guys, so we're here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Cad Bane, brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, and by far one of the coolest characters to come out of the Clone Wars animated series. Cad Bane here is Clone Wars original after all, and whenever I debate on being straight up just done with this line, I remember I have this figure and then decide, you know what? Not today. Because this figure is badass. This is one of my favorite Black Series figures in my collection. And I'm not going to lie, whatever calendar year he came out in, he's definitely in my tops for that year. I want to say 2020, 21 maybe. I honestly cannot remember at this point. It's been so long since I got this guy, but I wanted to put my 2 cents out there about this figure because it's friggin' bussin', man. So with that being said, before I get too far ahead of myself, let's cut right to the chase and get to the meat and taters of this review and take a look see at all Cad Bane has to offer in terms of accessories. No, he does not come with Toto 360. This is the basic, mainline version that was released in a wave. So he does not come with that. That was an exclusive with, I want to say a PulseCon version of this guy. I honestly don't remember, but he does come with his 2 little pistols here. That's it. He doesn't come with a rifle or anything. I'll bring him in. He does have holsters for these pistols right on his hips there. If I can get them in the right way, they will sit in there nice and snug. Not for nothing, but I can only imagine the value of this figure has gone up since the Book of Boba Fett, because he was a character in that series. There was an Amazon exclusive version of this guy from Book of Boba Fett. I did not pick that up. I kind of wish I did, because Cad Bane is probably next to... Well, everyone likes Boba Fett, alright? Let's not get it twisted. Boba Fett's an OG. But other than him, really, I do love me some Cad Bane. I think he's a cool character. He looks like a cowboy, kind of. Pistols that don't want to go in his thingy. There. Not going in the wrong way. That said, you can take his hat off. And I am just going to take that off for now, because it's just going to fall off anyways. That head skull. Very nice head skull. Looks like a freaking alien. Somebody else I know. Somebody will get that joke. But, yeah, man, he is really cool looking. Chock full of detail. And pretty decent articulation, all things considered. So he's got a double ball peg in the head. Or does he just have a neck? He might just have a neck joint. I don't know. No, he's got a little bit in the head, but not a ton. He's got some tilt and whatnot. Looking good for the most part. This thing here, I debated on having my dad glue this breathing thing in, but while it does have a tendency to pop out, it does stay in for the most part and will get out of the way since it is a separate piece. So I guess that's alright. His shoulders are on butterflies, so you can move them forward and back a little bit there. You can, of course, hinge them back down and rotate them forward and back. He does have a bit of a bicep swivel up in here. That works pretty well. He does have a single jointed elbow, which can give you... If I can get it to bend here. You gotta be really careful with the tubes on the arms, people. They're not very soft. Maybe hit them with a hairdryer before you go cranking on them, but I can get his arm bent that far. Let me try the other one. Let me try this one. I think the tubes get out of the way more on this side, but honestly. There we go. So you can bend them at a right angle. I wouldn't push it. I think you can bend them more than that, but I would use some heat on those tubes before you do any of that. It does not feel like he has a double elbow. I do believe he has a gauntlet twist, maybe. Not feeling anything there, but yeah, definitely be careful with the elbows. You don't want to bust those tubes. That would suck, because this guy is not cheap nowadays. replacing him is not an option. Oop, there we go. That one bent. So, there you go. There's his elbow bent on that side. It was just tight. It wasn't the tube, but be careful with those tubes, man. You don't go cranking on those. That said, he does have the correct hinge for holding weapons on both hands. That is awesome. I do appreciate that. I think he's got a ball joint somewhere in the torso here. Right there. And his coat is attached to that, so it will move and flex out of your way. That's nice. Hips will kick forward. Pretty much 90 degrees. That's good. They will kick out to the side. Almost 90 degrees again. Better than some Spider-Man figures. He's got a thigh cut. That's nice and hidden up there. Right where this seam is, that is where it is. He's got single knees, but you do get 90 degrees out of those. And they do rotate as well. No boot cut or anything like that, but you do get a hinge in the foot with a rocker. And these little rockets do not articulate. They are separate pieces, but they're not going to move. They're glued in place and keyed in place, so I wouldn't go stressing those out. But that is Cad Bane in a nutshell. Hit the camera. I thoroughly enjoy this figure. I think he's awesome. I liked him in Book of Boba Fett. I liked him even better in Clone Wars, because let's face it, Clone Wars is my jam when it comes to Star Wars, and it's really what keeps me into Star Wars, because modern Star Wars, I don't hate it as much as some people do. There's some people who really hate it. I mean, I don't like the sequel series there with Rey and Finn and Poe and old mountain man Luke Skywalker. That wasn't for me. But I did like some of The Mandalorian. I did like some of Book of Boba Fett. I thought those were fun. But yeah, man, Star Wars for me, it's always been Clone Wars, and this guy embodies Clone Wars because he is a Clone Wars OG character. So, with that being said, it is time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old Cad Bane alongside another character who made their debut in the Clone Wars animated series, Ahsoka Tano. This is the Padawan version I reviewed almost a week ago now, and is apparently sold out on Big Bad Toy Store, so you're shit out of luck if you didn't pick her up when I did. That said, we also have Cad Bane's partner in crime, Aura Singh. I think we still need a little kid Boba Fett to go with these two, but that's neither here nor there. I know people have mixed emotions about that character still, but in the Clone Wars animated series, not too bad. You know, you throw a Bosk and some assassin droids in there, you got a pretty bitchin' squad. So, getting these two out of here. Bringing our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibelith, who just looks absolutely freaking massive next to this guy. And the infamous Living Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. Funny, comparing Spawn to a cowboy that's not the gunslinger, right? So, with that being said, it is time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while he does have some shortcomings, particularly in terms of articulation, just due to the nature of his character design, I have to say that good old Cad Bane is a fine addition to anyone's Star Wars Black Series collection, whether they're a fan of the Clone Wars or even Book of Boba Fett or not. He's just a cool looking alien bounty hunter, cowboy, outlaw looking mother trucker that doesn't care if you like him or not. And quite frankly, I'm glad that I do, because if I ever go back and do a bit of a redux on the top action figures of whatever year this guy came out, I want to say 2020, 21-ish, maybe, I'm definitely going to include him in there. He is definitely the Black Series figure of whatever year he came out in, and I'm not surprised that he is so popular. I mean, being an awesome character is one thing, but having a great figure of an awesome character is another. General Grievous, I'm looking at you. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.